Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's Jen Zoe here, and I'm very excited to be live on time at 7:30 on December 1st. What a great way to kick off the month, doing things on time. And today I want to talk a little bit about meditation. Raise your hand if you've ever done a meditation, heard of meditation, or would like to try it if you've never done it. Um, I remember the first time I did a meditation. Oh my gosh, this was at a place it was at an Ayurvedic healing institute not too far from here, up in Alachua, Florida, and near Gainesville. And I was there, and it's like, we're going to do meditation. And God, this was so long ago. I was still married at the time. And we were sitting there, and this guru was like, we're going to sit still and be silent and all these things. And I'm like, this sounds terrifying. So I'm sitting there and we're going to meditate for 10 minutes. And I'm like, 10 minutes, but I'm like, 10 minutes, no big deal, but I'm also terrified. So I'm sitting there and we go into the silence, into the gap, into the nothing, into the quantum, into the ether, whatever you want to call it. And I think I lasted about 6 seconds out of that 10 minutes. And fast forward to today, like I can go in, I've done with Dr. Joe Dispenza and Deepak Chopra and a lot of things through Tony Robbins and through theta healing. I've tried all of these transcendental meditations. There's a lot of different types of meditation out there. And what I've discovered is that I can meditate for like 4 hours now. I can just slip into the gap. And I remember I was in Fiji and I was talking to, his name was Patrick. He was one of the participants, and he would be like in the house doing something. He was talking about his girlfriend. I think his fiance, maybe they had just gotten engaged. I can't remember, but that his girlfriend, he'd look out in their backyard, and she would just be sitting there in meditation, and he'd be doing his thing and come back, and she's still just in meditation. And here's the key piece, you guys, and what I really want to take away from this, because here in a few minutes, I'm going to jump over to my ZenClub community. I'll put the link in the comments if you're interested in becoming a part of that beautiful contribution community. But it was shocking to me that she was like, oh, she's out there for meditation for like 2 or 3 hours. I'm like, how does anybody have time for this? And I realized, how do you not have time? Like, that's a better question. How do you not have time to put yourself in a place of receivership? What are we hustling to get? Peace, right? Calmness, happiness, playfulness. What are the things that are important to you in your life that you have? And so I was listening to that, and I almost felt like a little jealous, because last time I meditated, I got like 6 seconds, right? And I'm like, but that's a start. And it is. They call it a meditation practice. They call it yoga practice. They call it piano practice, right? And I just got back from the gym, and we did muscles that I don't really normally work. And I'm like, oh my God, I need what? Practice at doing this. So every Monday at around the 7:30, between 7:30 and 8, I go into my ZenClub community, and I do a self-confidence formula meditation. And we go to the seventh plane of existence. I'm an advanced certified theta healer. And it really puts you into a space of peace, where you start feeling that peace. Now, I'll post some of these on YouTube so you can see what they're like. So make sure you're going to my YouTube channel and checking out my YouTubes around these things. But I want you to think about, why would you meditate? Like, why would you bring any meditation practice to your life? Like, what would be the purpose of it for yourself? And for me, I was like, I just wanted to try something new, and it sucked. I sat there for 10 minutes going, when is this 10 minutes going to end? And when you start doing the practice and stick with it, because fast forward, it took me, when was that? I want to say maybe like 2007. I was still lived in Ocala at the time, so it couldn't have been much past 2000, past that. So it was like maybe 2007 or 2008. And 5 years later, I'm doing meditation every single day, because I was going through a really tough divorce. I found out that my ex-husband was a financial criminal. I wish it would have been easier if he'd just been cheating on me. and because that financial stuff, that's tricky. And so I was going through a little bit of life at the time. And, my brother passed away, and my horse died, and my dog died. I mean, I sounded like a country song. And I was going through like a lot of pain. And so one of the things that helped me was finding that stillness and being in the present moment and slipping into the gap and slipping into a space where I could just be still for a few minutes. The tricky piece is, and I was actually talking to my assistant about it this morning, I was like, you can't live there. You go there, align there, but then come back to the world of the 3D. Otherwise, you're just escaping your pain, and you might as well just go day drink. There's no difference, right? So, and in fact, we were at a retreat one time, and I was leading the retreat, and I was actually, thank goodness, I had a collaborator with me. She's a good friend of mine and an absolute incredible woman when it comes to feminine energies and in the feminine space. And we had one of the participants had gone up into the ether, and we were having a hard time bringing her back. Like, that's not right. She was taking her time coming back. Like, she really was very much in this space of, I'm like this, no, because it feels good to be there. And that's what you need to bring back to this experience so you can have a better practice at life. So the meditations that I do specifically are around the self-confidence formula. And if you don't know what that is, you can just Google it, or you can come and join us. And we do them, on Mondays, like I said, around this time. But it is like tapping into getting more self-confidence in yourself. And if you don't have it, get a group, find a tribe that you can borrow it from. Because although you cannot borrow desire, like someone can't want it more for you than you want it for yourself. Sometimes when you have those pieces of doubt, tapping into the self-confidence formula and giving the right things or the things that you want for your future self a voice is the right way to go. And when you have a community of people that are also doing the same thing, that maybe and I was talking to Kayla about it this morning, maybe I'm at the canter on the horse and you're at the walk, but we're still on the horse. Like, when they say get back on the horse, that's what we're talking about. Like, get back into life and live the life on your terms, but figure out what those terms are. So you aren't unconscious. So you aren't unconsciously incompetent, right? To use that Buddhist philosophy of unconscious competence to conscious competence to unconscious competence, right? So if you're unconsciously incompetent, you need to that's where we go to meditate. That's what we do with meditation or prayer. I heard it, I think it was Les Brown said somewhere where it's a meditation, prayer is talking to God and meditation is listening to him. Right. And I like that, and meditation is like just going into source, going into a space of silence, into the darkness and listening and receiving and releasing. A lot of times you can release your pain through meditation. And again, there's all different kinds. There's transcendental, there's meditation with mantras, there's the theta healing meditations that I do consistently, but I've done a lot of them. And Dr. Joe Dispenza does a really great meditation where he does like this incredible breath work that brings your cerebral spinal fluid up your spinal column, and then it causes your pineal gland to be stimulated, which then in turn encourages your pituitary gland to release oxytocin, which is the love drug. And you do this all just through breath work. And a lot of times I think we are like, the foo-foo, or that's woo-woo, or that's whatever, because it's free. It's free. Once you figure out how to do it, you can do it yourself, and it's free. And I've done so many healings and different works. And I think what's really cool and powerful about this, to tie it back into my work with the horses, is that when you get around the horse does that for you. A horse can feel your heartbeat, feel you, their circle, their auras, their awareness is huge and it's powerful. And they live in a theta brainwave state all the time. So here in a couple of minutes, I'm going to jump off and go over to the Zen Club community. If you are interested in joining this community, we do a lot of great things, have some great, it's my university, where if you want to learn about horses and the healing work that we do through them, it's a contribution to horses. There's a couple of different tiers in there. You can, depending on what level of involvement you want to have. But every Monday we go and we do this theta healing meditation, and it's an incredible way to start off your week. Get up, have your coffee, go to the gym, take a poop, and then come do the meditation, right? And journal, or then all these other things, right? But honestly, if you just take about 10 minutes to be still, and if you, like Tony Robbins says it too, if you don't have 10 minutes for yourself, for your own life, you don't have a life. And he's right. So we take about 10 minutes, and we go in, and I'll take you through to this beautiful place, and we'll do some downloads, do the self-confidence formula, and a really beautiful way to just make sure you have clean jet fuel in the tank as you take on the day and take on the week. So make sure you're joining us there. I will be going live throughout the week this week talking about this. I have a self-discovery challenge live with the horses coming up on December 12th. That is going to be free for everyone that would want to be a part of it, with an opportunity to then join one of my mastermind. So thank you for tuning in. For those of you that joined in, I love you. And I'm so excited to be a part of this world and start this day with self-confidence in my heart and meditation in my soul. So join us over at the Zen Club. I'll put the link in the comments, and we'll see you there. All right. Bye for now.